Yo, what's cracking with y'all? It's your boy, the one and only K freaking Mac. The one and only, the boy, the myth, the legend. Here we go, man. Your host of the Blitzburg Coverage Podcast. Repping number 90 today. Throwback. Actually, not even a throwback. This is just our Color Rush jersey, man. Let's freaking go. Episode 37. Episode 4 of season number 2. Super excited as today is Sunday, April the 21st. The year is 2024. And you guys know what week it is, man. It is finally that time. The NFL draft week. The draft starts Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Today, we're probably going to do a shorter episode. Basically, just talking about who the heck are we going to pick at number 20 in the NFL draft. Leading up to today, no moves have been made between the last time we all spoke together, which was a few weeks ago. As, there's been talks of us trying to trade for Brandon Ayuk, the receiver from the San Francisco 49ers. That has not transpired as of today. So let's just get right down to the nitty-gritty. What are the Steelers going to do at pick number 20? A top 20 pick in the draft at a chance at a top 20 player, top 15 if someone falls due to the quarterbacks being drafted as high as they may go. When I look at this draft, I've been doing a lot of mocks. I've been film digging into some film stock breakdown, and this is a draft. First round really is going to be a lot of offensive players. I see about 10 to 12 first-round players probably on defense and probably around 20-ish offensive players there, mainly offensive tackles. There are a lot of good offensive tackles. This class is phenomenal with that. Some solid interior centers, some good wide receivers, some quarterbacks on the defensive side of the ball, some edge rushers, some corners. No safeties there to speak of. A couple of defensive linemen. But when it comes really to what this team is going to do, I think it's no question at this point in time that it's got to be on the offensive side of the ball. It could be a defensive player, BPA potentially if a great or good talent is there. Maybe on D-line if you're looking at maybe a Byron Murphy potentially. Not an edge guy, so it's got to be someone on that D-line, like a big brother, a big motherfucker in the trenches. We don't need no more edge guys. We need someone in the interior if they go that route, but they won't. Linebackers, no. Safeties, no. The only corners I could really see us taking there would be Cooper DeJean, cornerback from Iowa, who's a versatile kind of piece. Missed some time due to injuries, but was a solid cornerback at Iowa, and would be a good pick, but I don't know if we've done our pre-draft visits with him, as there's only a few players that have checked all the boxes when it comes to comparing them in terms with our past first-round selections. When we've done pre-draft visits, we've attended their pro day, we've had them come visit Pittsburgh, and a cornerback that we have done that with is cornerback Nate Wiggins. He could potentially be the pick there at pick 20, though with us adding Dante Jackson, I think that kind of brings those odds down. So I really think if it is defense, it's cornerback or defensive line, but I'm not really that confident in that happening because we need a center and we need a tackle. It comes down to that. Receiver as well is a need, but this overall draft class is stocked with receivers. It's very deep in that area, so we'll probably get one in rounds 2 or 3. We typically don't draft receivers in the first round. I can only think of a few times we have. I think Plexico Burris, Antonio Holmes. But most of our receivers have typically been second or third round players, maybe even fourth rounders. You think of Martavis Bryant. So unless a great receiver falls there, maybe like a Romeo Adenze, he won't be there. Brian Thomas Jr. could potentially be it, but I don't really see it being a receiver because we're just confident in finding a receiver in rounds 2 or 3. I just know that's what we're gonna do. We don't even have a center right now. We can't even start the play at offense. So let's just start out with that. We got Broderick Jones, we got Dan Moore Jr. Guards, we got Isaac Seumalo, James Daniels, Nate Herbig or Nick. I always get those two confused as our interior players. And currently, we really don't have a right tackle at this moment. Spencer Anderson's another lineman that we drafted last year. He might come into play, but I think for me, it's got to be a right tackle. And I think for me, it comes down to 2 guys that, maybe 3, but here's my 3 names I'm watching out for. Amarius Mims, Georgia right tackle. Phenomenal on the field when he played, though the question is, will he stay healthy, as he's only played 8 games in his career? You get him. He's a former Georgia alumni. Him and Broderick Jones played together briefly, or maybe not. Did they play together? I don't think so. I don't know if they did, but they're cool with each other, so there's some familiarity there. He was good when he played. He has top 10 talent, but the question is, will he stay healthy? Another name that comes to my mind is Graham Barton, tackle from Duke. And the reason being, he was a solid right tackle, no question, but he was forced to play center in, I want to say, his last year of college due to injuries on the Duke squad, and he played center. So he is a versatile player that maybe if we take him, that kind of fills the box for 2 players almost, in a sense. It's like, okay, well, if we draft him in the first, and then say in the second round we're able to get a center, put him at right tackle, and you got your center. Say you draft him, and in the second round, there's a good tackle there still somehow. You put him at center, Graham Barton, and then you put the right tackle you just drafted in the second round at right tackle. So I kind of feel like Graham Barton also is a name that is in consideration. And then for me, the last guy is probably going to be J.C. Latham from Alabama, a right tackle, an absolute mauler, run mauler, big body, big fucking dude. Was a big part of Alabama's success and why they were so successful the past couple of years. And why Jalen Monroe was able to run the ball so effectively. I think he's a name to watch out for, though I don't know if he'll be there at 20. So for me, it comes down to those 3 guys. I think it's got to be Graham Barton, J.C. Latham, or Amarius Mims. And I'm fine with any of those 3 players. It just depends who's there. Like I said, could be BPA on the defensive side of the ball, but to me, it has to be offensive line. It's not a quarterback. It's not going to be a running back. It's not going to be a tight end. It's not going to be a receiver. I want to be... If we pick a receiver first round, I'm not going to be happy. I'm really not. Unless somehow one of those top 3 receivers, a Marvin Harrison Jr. ain't going to even fall, so I'm not even going to fucking talk about that. Malik Neighbors is not going to fall. Adonai Mitchell could be there and play. Romeo Dunze, not sure if I don't think he'd be there, but BPA I never have a problem with, but if it's receiver, receiver for me doesn't really move the needle. It doesn't change things unless you get a fucking top 5 talent. A Jamar Chase, a Marvin Harrison. Those guys change things. But are we really going to throw the ball like that this year? I'm not sure. But we're one George Pickens injury away from seeing a very nasty combination of Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin III, and Quez Watkins being our starting receivers. So I'm not downplaying the need of that. I'm just saying, to me, we need to work in the trenches because, first thing first, we're going to be a run-first offense under Arthur Smith. So that, to me, is where we're going. It's got to be offensive line. And then, round 2, you probably look at maybe a DB if someone's there, or maybe one of those centers if you don't get a center in the first. I'm not opposed to trading down either from pick 20 to 25, 26, 27. I'm not opposed to trading down getting a center at 25 or 26, whether it's a Zach Frazier potentially, or preferably Jackson Powers Johnson. Now you get another second-ish pick. You could use those 2 second-round picks, trade up. Maybe get a great talent that has fallen into the second, or use those 2 second-round picks. Get another lineman. Get another receiver. Maybe get a DB. Because I'm not sleeping on the need of a DB either. That's why I mentioned it in the first place. So, to me, it's a combination of line, receiver, DB, and potentially D-line. I think they'll probably take one more on the day 3 side of things. It just depends how the draft board falls. So, nobody really knows. Nobody has a clue. People get overdrafted, underdrafted, people fall. And there'll be a lot of surprises. And I'm really excited for this draft, as this draft is fucking huge to how this team's going to play this season. I think if we hit this thing, I think we'll be a solid squad again. But first things first, man, let's work in the trenches. And let's get to work, man. We got the quarterbacks ready. We got Pickens. We got the Muth. You know, let's bring in another big brother on the offensive line, and let's fucking move people and play physical, smash-mouth Pittsburgh ball. That's what I want to see. Let's move some motherfuckers. Let's fucking see. Now, let's get Najee to the second level where DBs can't tackle him. Wear him down with Naj. Finish him off with some Jalen Warren speed runs. But first things first round, Thursday night, Pittsburgh, let's get a fucking beast offensive lineman. Start from there and let's see what happens in day 2 or day 3. Not opposed to a trade down if it makes sense. But if a good player's there at 20 and we take a lineman, I have no issues. Just no stupid shit. But I will talk to you guys later. I'll do another podcast next weekend after the draft. I'll probably do some instant, quick draft day reactions on my Blitzburg Coverage podcast page, whether it's Twitter/X, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, Facebook, whatever. I'll probably do some quick instant reactions, and then I'll do a nice deep dive podcast next weekend after the entire 7-round draft is over. But hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Tell me, what do you guys think we need? Steeler Nation, holla at your boy. What do you guys think, man? Offensive line, receiver, corner, safety, DB. What do y'all think? What flavor we feeling? I'm out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast episode. Like I said, short, sweet, to the point we go. We got things to do. It's a fun day Sunday. Let's go, man. Let's go, Pittsburgh. Hashtag here we go. Give the podcast a review. I'm everywhere. We're everywhere. Facebook, Twitter/X, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. And I will talk to you guys later this week, man. We are fucking ready, man. Let's go. Omar Khan, we believe, baby. We believe. Go con some motherfuckers and finesse. Let's go.